I'm Kat, and today I am doing the Buffy the Vampire Slayer book tag. This tag was created by Books Beautify Life, and I will leave the link to her video in the description. And it's not to be confused with the Buffy book tag, which is a different book tag about Buffy. I watched them both and decided to do this one, and I was not tagged to do it, but I love Buffy, so I'm doing it. I jumped on the Buffy train really late. I was like, a couple of months old when it first started, and I never watched it growing up at all. Yeah, so I only started watching it a few years ago, and I fell in love with it. If you've never watched Buffy the Vampire Slayer, what are you doing? Go watch it, it's amazing. Joss Whedon's shows are usually pretty amazing, but this one is like amazing. And you know how all the TV shows these days are doing musical episodes? Buffy did that first. Buffy is one of those fandoms that I will spend so much money on at conventions, as you can see. Let's get to the questions.
Every girl who could have the power will have the power. Can stand up, will stand up. Slayers. Every one of us. Make your choice. Are you ready to be strong?
Buffy, the damsel who does the saving. Name a female character that does the saving or needs nobody to save her. And for this one, I'm obviously going to go for my fave, Rose Hathaway. She is a guardian. Well, in the first book she's training to be a guardian, but you know, she graduates eventually and she becomes a guardian, and she does a lot of saving, and she's just kick-ass. In that movie, she was actually played by Zoe Deutsch, who played Sarah Michelle Gellar's stepdaughter in Ringer, so essentially, Rose is Buffy's stepdaughter.
Hey, party in my eye socket and everyone's invited. Sometimes I shouldn't say words.
Xander, the hilarious linchpin of the group. Name a character that brings or holds friends or a group together, or a character that always makes you laugh. And for this one, the answer is from both books and the TV show, you know, and maybe the movie too, and that is Simon Lewis. I'm holding this one up because he's on the cover of it, but you know, he's also in the Mortal Instruments series. Don't know why I bothered pointing because you can't see them. I love Simon. He is hilarious in both books and TV shows, and he also does kind of bring a group of friends together in Tales of the Shadowhunter Academy, when you know you've got the two different sections of the academy.
Bored now.
Willow, the wallflower that becomes the centerpiece. Name a character that becomes very powerful, either good or bad. For this one, I'm going to go with Feyre because, you know, she goes through that change at the end of the first book and she's getting damn powerful.
Demons after money. Whatever happened to the still beating heart of a virgin? No one has any standards anymore.
Giles, the father figure. Name a fantastic father figure. I am including TV shows and maybe movies in my tags from now on. So the father figure I chose was Sheriff Stilinski from Teen Wolf. I haven't seen any of the latest season of Teen Wolf, but, you know, Sheriff Stilinski, he's a pretty good father. He puts up with all of Styles' crazy everything, and then he finds out that his son's best friend's a werewolf, and, you know, the whole town's overrun with them, and he's like, okay, yeah, weird. And then just gets on with it and helps out, so he's pretty great.
Honey, are you sure you're a vampire slayer?
Joyce, always trying to be a good mother. Name a wonderful mother figure. You know, I've just got to go with the obvious answer for this one, and that is Molly Weasley from Harry Potter. Molly is amazing. She raises, like, all of these kids, and she just takes in Harry, and she makes sweaters, and she's so nice, and she cooks, and then, you know, she gets involved when she needs to fight. Molly is pretty great.
Nothing in the world is the way it ought to be. It's harsh. Cruel. That's why there's us.
Angel, the first love with a dark side. Name a character that appeared or pretended to be nice, but turns dark or bad. This one is a major spoiler for one of the Shadowhunters books, so if you don't want any spoilers from that, please mute me until I stop holding the book, which I will soon hold up. And if you still haven't muted me yet, the spoiler is for Lady Midnight. So just in case people still didn't mute me for the spoilers, I'm going to be very vague. There is a character in here that we think is good, but then he just turns out not to be. So yeah, that one.
The hell? Sodding, blimey, shagging, knickers, bollocks. Oh God, I'm English.
Spike, the one who tries to do good things but mostly fails. Name a character who tries so hard to be good and either succeeds or fails. You know, this one's kind of a little complicated, but I'm gonna go with the Winchesters from Supernatural. They try so hard to save the world every single season, but then they usually just make things worse. Like, they let Lucifer out, they pretty much let Leviathan out, they let the darkness out. They've both been demons at some point. Like, just maybe stop at some point.
Do you like daisies? I plant them, but they always die. Everything I put in the ground withers and dies.
Drusilla, the one that seemed crazy but noticed all the things. Name a character that seems strange or crazy. I chose Winter from the Lunar Chronicles. Winter doesn't use her lunar powers, and when a lunar doesn't use their powers, they start hallucinating things and going crazy, so she gets that.
Are you certain you're up to the challenge?
Darla, the bad mother figure. Name a mother figure who was really horrible at it. This one I'm going to go with Janine from Vampire Academy. Now, Janine wasn't a terrible mother, but she was kind of an absentee mother. She wanted to do her job, guarding. So Rose was mostly raised by the academy, so Janine just wasn't around. And then, you know, in book 2, Janine punches Rose. So they are training though, so there's a reason for that. Janine does get better, but that's probably because Rose is older and, like, leaves the school, so...
We attack the mayor with hummus.
Oz, the one that gives you fuzzy feelings. Name a character that is a great boyfriend but has something that maybe stops him from being perfect. I chose Wade from Heart of Dixie. I love Wade. I ship Zoe and Wade so much. But then there's that thing in season 2 that he does, and he just has a lot of growing up to do, which I guess he does in season 3. Season 3 is obviously my least favourite one, if you know that I ship those two. But yeah, so Wade had some growing up to do before he could be perfect for Zoe.
How many times have you been knocked out anyway? I swear, one of these times you're gonna wake up in a coma.
Cordelia, the queen bee. Name a character that loves to be the center of attention and does everything they can to stay in the spotlight. Now, spoilers for the Red Queen series here. Once again, once I put the book down, the spoilers are over. So that character is Mavin. As you know, he had this plot with his mum to become king, which is the center of the spotlight, I guess. And then through number 2, he's trying to hold on to his power. And I haven't read number 3 yet, but I'm guessing he still wants to hold on to his power.
Will you help me? Is it difficult or time-consuming?
Anya, the old soul. Name a character who appears older than their actual age. Now, this one confused me a little bit because Anya looks younger than her actual age, so I'm actually going to go with someone who looks younger than their actual age. And you just know that I've got to go with Magnus Bane. Magnus is a warlock and a couple hundred years old, but he's supposed to only look like 19. I'm pretty sure it's 19. And I really hope it is 19, because if so, then...
Only 19, but my mind is older.
I'm under your spell. How else could it be? Anyone would notice me.
Terra, the dreamer that is very passionate. Name a character that grows into their own. So I chose Sydney Sage from the Vampire Academy / Bloodline series. Sydney first appears in Blood Promise, and she's an alchemist, does everything her father says, is very like prim and proper. But then she meets Rose and she starts learning that not every Dhampir and Morori are evil creatures of the night. And then she grows a bit, and then Bloodlines is her series, and then just all through this series she grows into her own. And then there's that point in, I think it's the Fiery Heart, where she meets her dad again, and she just so sassy and like sticks it to him, and Sydney just grows so much into her own, and I love her.
I think it's Vashnik. Like cookies.
Dawn, the little sister. Name a sibling character or siblings. We're going back to the Shadowhunters here, and I couldn't decide between 2 groups of siblings, so I'm choosing both. So we have the Lightwoods from the Mortal Instruments and the Blackthorns from the Dark Artificers. I love both of these groups of siblings. I love Isabel, she's my favourite Lightwood, and I love all the Blackthorns. I love Emma too. These 2 families love each other and take care of each other even though they fight. and they're just kick-ass families. I really wish I had a sibling closer to my age so I could have had something like this, but no. My brother has to be 14 years older than me.
How do I look? Psychotic. I was shooting for sultry, but hey.
Faith, the one that just doesn't really fit. Name a character that wants to find their place but somehow always stands out. For this one, I chose Emma Swan from Once Upon a Time. The show literally starts with Emma wanting to find out who she is, where she's from, where she fits in the world, and then she does find that, but she still stands out because she is the savior, so she's always going to stand out even if she's like very well situated in her family.
Sorry. I mean, ha!
Wesley, the one who wanted to do it all perfectly. Name a character that is a perfectionist, wants to be perfect, or wants everything done by the book. For this one, I chose Miles from the Sidekicks. Now, I can't exactly remember, but I think Miles had like OCD or something similar. He didn't like contractions in words, and he had to do some things a specific way. So that was really interesting for him to be one of the main characters of this book.
The toilet seat doesn't follow you around after you use it.
Parker, the One Night Stand. Name a series that you would have enjoyed more if it was only one book. Now for this one, I'm not going to say if it was just one book, but you know, if it was a lot less books, like a lot less than 12. So that is the House of Night series by PC and Kristen Cast. I remember really enjoying the first like 4 or 5 of these when I read them for the first time, but then they just kept going and going and going and going. And of course I read them all because I had gotten that far. I might as well have finished. But the story just gets stretched out so much and nothing really happens in like books, I don't know, like 7 to like 11. So it could have been told in like 5 books max.
People say they're recycling. They're not recycling.
Riley, the perfect soldier. Name a character that is very organized or that is/was a soldier. For this one I chose one of my faves, Grant Ward from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Yes, I am one of those people who loves Grant Ward and I will ship Skyward forever, and I'm just really annoyed with what they did with his character and with Hive. But yeah, Grant is very organized and was a soldier spy.
Yeah, right. Like I'd listen to the Sex Pistols. Ew.
Harmony, the stereotype. Name a character that is the best example of a stereotype or a book that has a lot of stereotypes in it. I went with a book, and that is Kill the Boy Band by Goldie Moldavsky. When I first heard the premise of this book, I thought it was going to be great and hilarious and like something not to be taken too seriously and just a lot of fun. But then I read it and yeah. The main 4 characters in this book are 4 fangirls who go to New York to see their favorite boy band, and they end up kidnapping one of them, and just each of these girls is very stereotyped. Like you have the overly crazy fangirl who literally bashes one of the boy band members on their head and drags them into their room. And you have the girl who's like too cool for everything, and then you have the main character girl she's very quiet, and she meets her favorite of the boy band, and she wants to do the right thing, but her best friend is like, oh, we have to do this, and she just goes along with it. And then you have the boy band members themselves, like they're very much each stereotyped. Like you have the nice one who everyone loves, you have the modelish one, you have the one that everyone hates, and I just did not enjoy this book. Too many stereotypes, and it could have been done so much better than it was.
Where the hell have you been? This funnel cake is kicking my ass.
Andrew, the tag-along. Name a character that always seems to tag along or take part in things that they have nothing to do with. For this last question, I'm going to get really meta and choose a Buffy character. And no, it is not Andrew, it is Dawn from Buffy. Dawn literally just magically showed up right at the end of season 4, so she's not even in the first 4 seasons. And she's Buffy's younger sister, so Buffy and the rest of the Scoobies have to take care of her, and she's just always kind of there, and she tags along, gets in the way. It's not really until kind of like season 7 when she starts actually helping out, but then all the potentials come along, and she kind of just is there again. And that is all of the questions. So thank you for watching. Please comment below if you have watched Buffy and if you love it as much as me, and if you haven't watched Buffy, tell me why, because then I can convince you to watch it. So please like this video, subscribe, and I am still working on that outro line.